Hey, what's up folks? Welcome back to another 3D Hangouts. My name is Noah Ruiz. I'm a designer here at Adafruit, and joining me every week is my brother Pedro.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Pedro's Creative Tech here at Adafruit, and every week we're here to share 3D printed projects featuring electronics from Adafruit.
That is right. This is where we combine 3D printing and DIY electronics to make inspirational projects for you lovely folks. Hello everybody, welcome to the show. If you'd like to join us during the live show, you can throw up some GIFs, GIFs, comments, memes, all the fun stuff on the Discord chat room. The invite code for that, the URL for that is discord.gg/Adafruit. Tomato. What's the matter?
Giving shout out to everybody hanging out in the chat rooms.
Hello.
Good morning,
Thank
good
you for joining us today.
evening, good afternoon, good night to everybody hanging out all over the world. Good morning, Connor and Mick Carter.
Hi.
Andy Calloway, Rosin, all
Hello.
hanging out in the chat rooms.
Whoa. We have a fun show for you folks planned. We're going to run through some of the housekeeping stuff as we do in the mornings. If you have any shout outs and stuff, we'll come back to the chat room. But for now, we'll get the show started. Let me go to adafruit.com/free and find out what are the latest deals this week. Similar to last week, for orders, if you spend $99 or more at Adafruit at the checkout, you'll get a free half-size Perma Proto. That's that lovely PCB with a 3-colored silk screen and through-hole plating. For orders that are $149 or more, you'll get the half-size Perma Proto Plus an Adafruit KB2040. That's that keyboard driver for those keyboard projects. And for orders that are $200 or more, you'll get the keyboard. You'll get the half-size Perma Proto, and you'll get free ground shipping from UPS for continental US only. All of this stuff gets added automatically to your cart, so you don't have to do any special coupon codes or anything. So that's the deals. You can head over to adafruit.com/free for all the deets. Next up, I'm going to switch it to the jobs board, jobs.adafruit.com. You can find out the latest job listings and resumes from fellow makers out there. This week we have a few job postings. I'm seeing a new one here, a firmware programmer for the RP2040 PCB in the Miami, Florida area as a freelance position. We got another one here, a programmer for USB ESP32, BitBang Gaming LLC, and remote contracts. So check those out. It's free to post your job listing or free to post your resume with your skills. Checking out the newsletter time. Once a week, Adafruit releases a newsletter. It's called the New Newsletter, and you can subscribe to that one by heading over to adafruit.com/newsletter. Adafruitdaily.com is a standalone website that offers daily email stories, things. It's a newsletter every day. It's called Adafruit Daily. So check it out and subscribe to all the categories that might pique your interest, such as Python on hardware, 3D printing, maker business, biohacking, and more. Shout out to everybody subscribing for the Python on microcontrollers newsletter, and shout out to everybody submitting your stories. Please continue to do so. You can hit up csp@adafruit.com in an email, or just tag Adafruit or tag CircuitPython on all the social channels when you post, and we'll be looking for those. And coming on over to this week's project. Check it out. What are we doing this week, Pedro? Oh, wait, let's go back to the chat room. I see you looking at stuff. We have some droids saying Roger, Roger. Thanks, Yanni Scoo.
We got Dwester, who's got some parts to upgrade his Ender 3D Pro, doing the dual Z and direct drive update.
Cool.
Those are always fun to do. Makes you feel very accomplished when you get that first print out, and it looks excellent.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think that shows up on the thing, right? Yeah. On the overhead.
Which part?
All that.
No, it's just to get rid of it.
Yeah, it's annoying. Well, cool. Very, very cool. Thanks for that update, Dwester. Hope everything goes well with that.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into this week's awesome project.
This week's project features the Adafruit PyPortal. Do you remember the PyPortal? It's that lovely IoT display screen. It uses the M4 and the ESP32 Wi-Fi coprocessor. We thought it'd be fun to make a little mirror, a little smart mirror out of the PyPortal. We got ourselves a piece of acrylic, and we have some of that mirrored film, and we slapped it together to make this cool effect. So this mirrored acrylic is kind of a one-way mirror where you can see the display, but you can still see the reflections. I kind of got inspired by one of the thermostat, the Nest thermostat has that same type of effect, and I was like, well, it'd be cool to do that with one of the Adafruit IoT boards, and the best one I thought to do that was with the PyPortal, the original PyPortal. So I designed myself a little case, and we cut the piece of acrylic, and then shout out to Liz Clark for helping us make this more interactive. So we wanted to have the display auto shut off after a few seconds, and then using the onboard ambient light sensor, when I put my hand in front of it, sort of a Jedi mind trick, woo, it turns the screen on. So that's a fun way to kind of get a little interactivity in your IoT projects. This is using the Open Weather Maps API to pull some weather data. We also got the time there. This is our local city here, Orlando. And the conditions here is a clear sky with a balmy 84 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah. So I got these this little stand here that allows you to articulate the viewing angle, so you can put it wherever you want. It's a mini smart mirror, so if you've seen some of the other smart mirror projects, they're kind of big. We thought it'd be fun to make a small one with the PyPortal. And one of the design challenges was making this honkin' opening for the ambient light sensor to allow more light to come in. Whenever I've done a case for the Adafruit PyPortal, I normally just make a hole and then I extrude the hole down, but what happens is that it stays dark. So I figured, let me just add some drafted angles so that light can come in at different angles. So you can kind of see how the shadow is affecting, how the shadows are kind of being fed in there, and allowing the drafted angles allow the light to kind of come in there a little bit more. So I want as much exposure to this light sensor as possible, so that's why we have this very funky opening there. So that was a fun design challenge. Some other features of the case, we have a nice opening here for the SD card, micro USB, and then on the back cover, it's a snap fit cover, we have our lovely button presser for the reset button. So if you want to reset, go into bootloader mode, put some Arduino in there or something. It's easy to do that. You don't have to take it out of the case. Yeah. So it's just booting up right now. This is all done in CircuitPython, like I said earlier. And then these thumb screws, or M3 thumb screws, they're really great for tightening up the angle. I really like these. Maybe one day we'll stock them, but for now I have a link to the Amazon store, so you can get yourself some of these very nice knurled M3 thumb screws. Yeah, so there is the stuff, Adafruit PyPortal, Open Weather Maps API, got some interactivity there with the ambient light sensor. You can change in the code how long you want the display to turn on. Yeah. So let's go ahead and look at the Learn Guide, and we'll kind of walk through it. If I can get there. Here we go. So if you head on over to learn.adafruit.com, you can see that it's a part of the new guides. We could publish it this morning. The intro page just shows you a couple things. Of course, just the PyPortal and the cable, but we also have the hardware here. The screws, the thumb screws, lock nuts, and a sheet of acrylic and a roll of film. So the idea is that you would get your acrylic piece cut from a laser cutting service such as Pinocchio, and then you can apply a mirrored film to that piece of acrylic or any piece of acrylic. So that's kind of how we have it set up there. We have the CAD files available to download. You can check it out. We've got a nice little CAD animation that shows the assembly, all the screws. Just 3 parts for the case. You got the stand, you got the case, and you got the cover. And those all print without any support material. They snap fit together. The stand uses those M3 thumb screws and the M3 lock nuts to secure the stand to the case. Kind of simple, right? You'll need a 3D printer with a build volume of at least 122 by 122 by 132 millimeters. So you can print that out, or you can get it printed from a printing service. I have a DXF or SVG file for the acrylic template for that shape. It's kind of a specific shape. It's sized specifically to the enclosure, so you can either cut this out by hand, you can use a laser cutter if you have access to one, a CNC mill, or a laser cutting surface like Pinocchio. You can download that. And then of course, if you would like to use any of the 3D models, such as the PyPortal, those are free to download from our GitHub repo. I have a link to that there. We also have some spinny GIFs of the PyPortal. All right, next page is a mirrored page from all the Learn Guide for the PyPortal. So installing CircuitPython on your PyPortal is all broken down here step by step with a bunch of links and some screenshots so you can get into the bootloader mode and install the latest version of CircuitPython. Pretty straightforward. On to the coding page. Shout out to Liz for putting this together and figuring this out. You can use the download project bundle to get all of the libraries that are associated with this project, so you don't have to hunt them down. There's a code breakdown of how everything's working, so if you want to change anything, you can do that. There's some screenshots here that shows you all the assets that you'll need, because this is the weather, sort of weather station project. There's a few bitmaps that you have to get for all the different weather conditions. So this is just a nice visual of knowing, okay, this is what I need in my CircuitPy USB drive. Of course, this has the secrets file. That's where you're going to put your Wi-Fi credentials and things like your Adafruit IO username and passkey. Also, your weather token here. You'll have to get yourself a token from Open Weather Maps, but you can do that by heading over to openweathermaps.org and getting your API key. And there's a breakdown here of how it's pulling from the location, so you want to update this to your location. There's a list somewhere that you can look at in the Open Weather Maps API to find out what location matches your location. So there's that. This version of the Open Weather Maps project makes the display portrait mode, so that's pretty neat. Haven't done that yet. Had a weather display with portrait mode, so that's kind of neat. Setting up the light sensor, setting it up with the get voltage helper, so you can scale it from 0 to 3.3 volts, and then it breaks down the loop, how it's getting local time and displaying the graphics, reading the light sensor. To make this work in different lighting conditions, it's calculating the maximum percentage of what the light value is, and then it scales it down so that when it sees that there's a change, a substantial change, it will turn the display on, and you can change up the sort of time that it stays on. After 10 seconds, the PyPortal's backlight is turned off, and every 30 seconds, the clock is updated with the update time. So check that out if you want to do this similar type of hand waving in front of the light sensor for your project. This is a good kind of base jump off point. All done in CircuitPython. Next up, we have a breakdown of setting up your piece of acrylic with some mirrored film. It's a bit of a process, not too complicated though. I recommend getting some gloves because it's going to be a little bit wet. The idea is to get a spray bottle with a little bit of soapy water and kind of dousing the film and then just snapping the two together. You want to have the acrylic also have some soapy water. You apply the film, and then you want to use a squeegee to knock out any air bubbles, and then kind of rinse and repeat. These are actually the same process from our Infinity Mirror Coaster project. It's kind of just a repeat of that, but it's pretty much the same process, just a different shape. So that was helpful. On to the case assembly, pretty straightforward. We attach the stand to the case with some thumb screws, some M3 thumb screws and some lock nuts. I really like adding like recesses for hex nuts because then that helps you install the thing.
It's not turning when you're screwing it in.
Or you don't need like a piece of like some needle
pliers.
nose pliers to hold the. So it's really nice to use the hexagon like recess, so that way you can press fit your hex nut, and it stays in place when you fasten on the other side. So that's a nice little tip there. Before installing the piece of acrylic into the case, I recommend wiping it clean because boy, the smudges get everywhere on acrylic. So there's a little bit of a recess built into the case that has a little bit of a lip so that it can't be pressed all the way out. And then this display from the PyPortal keeps it from being pressed all the way in. There are some built-in standoffs that will be secured, that the PyPortal will rest on and be secured with some more M3 screws. But once you have the acrylic installed, you'll want to probably wipe it down again because there's no way to not get smudges on it. Maybe you could wear gloves. Maybe I could have did that. And sort of a little thing I realized is once I put the PyPortal inside, I can see the light leaking from the top of the display. That's just the way the display is. So what I ended up doing was grabbing a piece of gaffer's tape, or you could use electrical tape. I like gaffer's tape because it doesn't leave any residue, any adhesive residue. So I wrap that over the top edge of the PyPortal, covering those stemma ports, and then kind of wrapping around on the other side. That way the light is not leaking and the effect of the mirror stays nice and kind of magical. But once you have that installed, you can place the PyPortal over into the enclosure and line up the mounting tabs with the mounting holes, and then insert and fasten 4 of M3 by 6 millimeter screws into the tabs of the PyPortal, so that gets secured directly to the case. And then installing the back cover, just line it up with the shape. It's really easy to do so, and there are snaps on all the edges there. And just line it up and firmly press fit it together. Last thing you want to do is give it some USB power, or using your computer's USB hub or a 5-volt power supply, or battery bank if you want to use a battery bank. I have it plugged into my computer because it's a desktop thing. And that's really it. It's a pretty simple case. If you want to, if you got yourself a PyPortal and you're looking for a nice house for it, maybe this could be a fun option. Magical mirror on the wall. Maybe you can add some sound effects. There's a built-in buzzard. You can add a light or something if you'd like. Ooh. There's empty space up here. Maybe if you wanted to add like a 7-segment display or something to have some extra stuff there, you can do all sorts of stuff. So let me go ahead and maybe open it just to get an idea. The way I open it is I just kind of press it like this. It just pops out. You can see here that the back cover has a little peg here, and that's what allows you to press that reset button. I really like the reset button on the PyPortal because it's a nice big one. We got an onboard NeoPixel as well. If we wanted to add something to the case here, we could do that. Here is the onboard speaker, but you also have a speaker port, so don't forget that. So if you want to add some alarms or something like that to your clock, you can add an extra speaker, and there's an amplifier built into this. So it is fully featured, folks. We want to log some data. We got that expansion port here for an SD card as well. there's so much stuff on here. There's also a built-in temperature sensor, and then of course you have all these ports here. Of course I have them covered up, but you could find a way to use those if you'd like. Gaffer's tape.
The ports are the stemma, the JST. There you go.
Yeah,
3 of them.
They're the bigger stemma, just so you know, but we have cables that convert them over. Yeah, so you have 2 digital pins and then a stemma, an I2C port. So,
and those are for adding additional sensors as well.
Yeah.
And then the best part about this project is the PyPortal is in stock.
Yes, it is. It is indeed in stock. Here you kind of see how, like, if you don't have a kind of a covering for the back, you can just see right through the mirror, through the acrylic rather.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how that effect is achieved, by just completely darkening it out. But yeah, I've only seen this sort of effect done on like I said, the earlier in the show, the Nest thermostat has a similar type of effect where it's a mirror and it shuts off after a few seconds. Pretty cool effect. Hope to see more displays that are also mirrors. Oh, the nose hairs.
Got a shout out for using the open weather maps.
Yeah.
And then
That's
Yanni's saying that Azure has some maps that can use the weather maps in the background.
That's a good idea. Do some Azure stuff with weather.
And then Yanni is wishing that the screens came in those types of shapes. It's a really good way to actually give the illusion.
Yeah, reshaping the thing.
The screen.
Sorry. Maybe you can make a bigger one, you know. Be fun.
I think the other idea you had too was doing that circle display that made the rounds on the internet. It's a little terminal with the circle display.
Yeah, that'd be a fun one too. I wanted to keep it like portrait mode for this project, so that's why I kind of said like, let me forgo the circle idea, and then it kind of looks like this, you know, traditional kind of mirror, portrait mirror. And I'm using for the filament, this is the marble PLA. What a great filament that has this lovely texture, this speckle, and all this prints out with it without any supports. So that's really cool too. I really like this marble filament. And weirdly enough, I got lucky here. You notice that the outline is white? I switched the filament, or the filament ran out as it made the outlines. So I got this neat effect where you have this stroke.
Very cool.
Yeah, this white stroke. That's how accidental mistake there. But it looks cool. I'm starting to see some of my I don't know.
I think it's the texture from that.
Is it?
The squeegee. It looks like it had like a
maybe
that fabric texture on there.
Yeah, you could always try it again. There are some mirrored acrylic that you can purchase. It's kind of pricey though. It's like triple, if not quadruple, the price of a regular sheet of acrylic. So it's up to y'all if you want to do that or not. And that depends if you want to cut the acrylic yourself or if you want to get it cut from a service like Pinocchio. I don't know if Pinocchio offers the mirrored acrylic yet. Maybe they do. But that's that.
Awesome.
You got a smart mirror with the PyPortal. And the PyPortal's in stock. Yeah, look at my shirt.
All right. And the Callaway says, a happy little accident.
It was.
In the voice of Bob Ross.
It was a happy accident.
All right, cool. And that's this week's project.
Yeah, nice little PyPortal case. This looks like a droid.
Yeah, let's go jump into this week's What Are We Prototyping? And we do have sort of a droid.
Sort of a droid? It's absolutely a droid.
In the making. We showed this off last week. This is that super cute LOLA 59.
LOLA 59 from the Kenobi Star Wars Disney Plus
Which,
series.
oh crap, forgot today's the last episode, huh?
Today's the final.
I saw people posting that it was good. I hope so. Let's see if what happens to Lola here. So we showed it off last week. I was getting all of the parts ready for having all of the components installed. Took a wrong turn in how this is assembled. I should not have used threading. It works for the most part. So 3 pieces. I'm going to switch to using snap fit instead of doing the threading on this. So in the bottom, we'll have the feather. We're going to do the RP2040. We'll have a battery inside there too. This will not thread, but it will snap. But it threads for now. It's good to see that it actually works if you wanted to do something like this. The reason I'm foregoing the threading is because of the alignment. Need to have this aligned with the horn.
Yeah, very particular.
Yeah, to have this go up and down. Last week we were talking about how I was going to get the little wings to actually articulate, and the way that the hinges are working. It's just a little piece of paper clip inside here that's holding that in. And that is how I'm able to keep everything nice and small, so I don't have these honking giant hinges.
Okay. Yeah.
And yeah, that works pretty good. So I'm able to get not close to 90 degrees for the rotation like you see, but pretty close.
No, that's pretty good. Maybe like 70 or 80.
Yeah, something like that. Pretty close. 10 degrees away, what it feels like. So we'll have probably standard LEDs inside the eyes, maybe the RGB ones,
Okay.
but probably a NeoPixel, or I don't know, depending on the code. Because we're going to use the existing code from that Terraco project, which was the...
For prototyping, that'll work, and then we'll see if that makes sense to add a NeoPixel or not.
Yeah. So on... I didn't grab any of the servos, but those all mount side by side right here. And then
the servos.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And then we have a nice little hole in here that leads down into...
Battery, the microcontroller.
Batteries,
right
and the RP2040.
Yeah.
And you can see why I like...
Do you have an idea for an on-off switch?
The on-off switch, yeah, it's probably going to be right here, or maybe down there.
Yeah, I'm thinking in the back there.
Yeah, probably that back. But I was thinking, since this does give you access to the inside of it, maybe have it down there. But
once it's closed,
maybe once it's closed, yeah, you don't want to force the servo, to strip the gears on it. So yeah, probably back here.
Okay.
As far as detail, I think just the antenna is the only thing that's left for that. And then obviously printing it in the correct colors. It's like white and red, so we'll get that. Probably do like the filament switching on this.
Okay.
And
some sort of shoulder mount.
Yeah, so for the Terraco, the way we did that was having magnets on the bottom, and then like the magnetic plate that it attaches.
I'm gonna grab that. That's right.
Where is he? Oh yeah.
You also probably want a hole for the micro USB as well. You see,
Oh yeah, that's
you have a hole
down there.
Somewhere on the
all that's yeah.
Does Terraco have a feather too, or is it something else?
I don't recall. Let's get his snap fit in there. He is looks like it's an itsy bitsy.
Okay, with the battery thing.
Yeah. So here's the magnet that we're using that allows you to attach it to your shoulder. And then the snap fit parts right here. Like that. I'm pretty sure the battery's dead. So.
Oh, there's the switch.
Yeah, the switch is there. Which, I think I just popped it out of the way.
No, you got it.
There it is. So simple movement like that will be translated for the wings. So
that's not a NeoPixel, right? It's just...
I'm pretty sure it is.
It is a NeoPixel?
Yeah. It's going red to blue.
Oh, well then, if we're using the code, then yeah.
Yep.
It should.
Yeah, I mean that's what I sized the eyes to, so should be pretty similar to this. Getting some painting on there, do some weathering, and yeah, have a nice other little Star Wars not flying, but nice little little robot droid.
Cute.
And that'll be I'll try to get it for next week,
bats.
but if not, probably the week after.
Yeah.
Super close.
Good.
And that is what we're prototyping. Super cute little LOLA 59. Meep, meep, meep. Wow. All right.
Cool.
I think you had one shop talk.
I guess so. We got some Legos. I got some Lego bits.
Can't have a show without.
Yeah, so this is the adhesive patch. Alright, so we're in shop talk now. We're shop talking. I got this thing for shop. So these Lego dots is a thing, and then the adhesive patch is a new type of Lego plate. And you might wonder, well, why is this interesting? It's interesting because it has a built-in 3M adhesive backing. And last week, I used a Lego plate as a holding jig for CNC milling my own custom Lego bricks. So what's cool about this is I can now use this as a jig for CNC milling. It already has the sticker backing, and they redesigned the plate so that it has way more surface area. So this is a different type of plate, guys. This is a different thing. So for CNC milling, and it's a small kind of plate. It's an 8x8 stud plate. So I can fit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the bricks in this arrangement. So that's really cool. And I thought I'd share it with you folks. I haven't peeled this backing off yet.
No, don't peel it yet.
But I'm sure it stays nice and stuck. But you can add your own. I'd probably take this off and add my own because I don't know what the thickness is exactly for this, but I can always measure it too. But yeah, I thought that was kind of neat, and Lego dots are always fun.
What I think is neat is that they are able to keep coming out with new stuff that is the exact same type of design, but reimagined in a different way.
It's kind of cheap. It's only like $6. You can get these from wherever Legos are sold. And that's the first bit. The second bit is they also did a stitch-on patch that I thought was neat.
That's
so
super
instead of
cool.
an adhesive patch, like, well, why don't we make it so that folks that can sew it onto garments, wearables, what have you. And the interesting is that this is a flexible material, but it's multi-material because the studs are hard plastic. They're ABS, I believe, and this stuff is like a TPU, TPE type of material. And if you look closer here, you can start to see where
I was about to say
materials are like fused together.
I couldn't see that in the kitchen lighting, but here with the sun, you could
see it.
Definitely see where it changes.
It feels very nice and soft, and then these have a really good click. Do you have any of our minifigs that we can? You were really impressed by the tolerances on these studs. They're like super nice.
Yeah, you can like hear when you take the. Oop.
His head came off.
Yeah, you can hear like when you take the minifigs out of the studs.
They have a nice thunk.
Yeah, the camera, yeah. But they hold on really well. Hats, shirts. See, I'm putting it on like back of phones, like anything you could sew stuff onto.
Here's my a cherry wood brick. Let's see if that fits. It'd be really embarrassing if it didn't, but it does. And of course, you can pop that out. Pop it back in. That's a good.
It's satisfying because you know that it is attached on there.
The only other special design features, of course, the stitching holes. So there's much more spacing, margin, padding, CSS padding, margin on the sides here for those holes. And those holes look about maybe 2 or 3 millimeters. So maybe you could sew this with some yarn. I think they show yarn here in the picture. But yeah, kind of neat, right? Same price deal, but they're all about like the Lego dots for this one.
Yeah, because it sort of guarantees that it's not going to fall off because of how small they are.
Maybe this could go on a hat. That'd be kind of neat.
Yep.
Put on the hat. I think we're probably going to 3D print our own and see if we can swap the filament to do PLA here, and then this will be a TPU. But yeah, kind of interesting new Lego base plates for some DIY projects maybe, huh?
Yeah, again, super impressed that they're able to continue to make new designs using the same studs. Yeah. New little products out of that. Super cool.
Different materials. Cute.
So the reason why you want to make your own is because this is the only color and shape that you can get at this time.
It'd be cool to make an Adafruit logo.
Yeah, so imagine having this being like flexible and you could just sew that on there. It'd be super cool.
You could probably screw something like with an M1 screw or M2. Yeah. Any comments? Any questions about this?
Like the flexible material.
Yeah, neat, right? It's called the stitch-on patch. I hope to see more of these in different shapes and in different colors, because right now I think this is the only one you can get in this assortment with this very particular set of dots. Cool colors, though. I like the colored dots. And make your own. I'm like trying not to be a shill for Lego, but
yeah, they got good stuff.
I mean, I CNC build my own.
Got a couple of questions that I missed over here on the YouTube from Carter, asking about the light sensor trick from the PyPortal.
Yeah, what's the question?
Light sensor trick from the PyPortal. Can you use it as an on and off switch?
Probably not to completely shut off power. I don't think there's any special what do we call it? Deep sleep mode stuff. Maybe you could do some deep sleep stuff, but I'm not familiar with it. But that might be an option.
Yeah, for now, the workaround would be to just
It
go to sleep.
It does save power. I left this on one of these battery banks overnight, and it wasn't dead because it shut the display off.
Nice.
So that's kind of cool. But yeah, that'd be neat.
And then comments on, you could use some Bookmaker's Twine for a super strong connection. I'm guessing for the Lego patch. He thinks it is awesome.
Cool. Yeah.
I know. I don't know. I completely missed that.
No, I remember seeing an ad about it too, or not an ad, but like I'm always looking at the Instagram Lego stuff, and
I did not see that.
I saw someone in either France, someone in Europe was like posting like, oh, these are new stitch-on adhesives. And I was like, whoa, cool. So it was nice to see those at the Legoland store.
All right, cool.
All right, let's shop talk. Good questions.
And
good interactions.
Move on to, what are we prototyping?
No.
Community makes.
Community makes every Tuesday. We find something to 3D print and do a time lapse. Let me pull up the video and the Thingiverse page. This is the design by Nadarata. On Thingiverse. And it is a little UFO fidget spinner.
Definitely caught my eye on just the assembly of it, the multi-material parts of it, and then having that extra little, the teleport beam, tractor beam,
Teleport.
I thought was super cool.
Okay, so these are little diffuser bits that are printed in some translucent PLA, and then you can snap these two. Oh, they snap fit?
Yep, snap fits.
Oh,
I can take it apart. The bearing is the 50?
The ZZ608.
There you go, Z608 bearings. Standard bearings, you should have these.
That looks great. I love this glitter filament and spinny spin. So fidgety.
So I did try the trick that you were saying.
It didn't work?
Use not as well. I mean, it definitely works better than when it had just the whatever grease that makes it spin. Yeah, the thick grease. I use the alcohol to try to get that out, and then use the real butter. And here's what it looks like. That is what these are for.
Oh yeah.
So you can insert little balls, which I think we have. The little bearings.
Right.
Dang it. I was like,
because
we don't have any of those.
Translucent, really,
but it's just there to hide them.
Oh man, remember the fidget spinner craze of 2016?
Yeah, we were at, I forget where, at Disney, and they have these new spinners where it has like a little spiral thing, and as you push down on it, it spins like a little ball or whatever Disney thing stuff they have on there. But yeah, you can take this off, and we're just using the little tiny LED there with the magnet to turn on and off. Yeah, we show these off.
Last week's Strap Talk.
I didn't bring the other thing. It comes with another thing on the bottom, so if you want to just spin it with your hand, you can.
Oh, okay.
But this is just a little add-on for that. I just thought it was cool because
it's
of the assembly, the way it's using all the parts.
I thought it was because of all the recent UFO things.
Oh, I mean, it kind of matches with this guy, and then what was the other UFO thing? There was something else UFO-y.
Yeah, it's just the world's slowly accepting the existence of these flying objects.
Yeah, so if you get the grease step in there to be a little bit more spinny, it'll definitely be more satisfying to get this spinning.
All right, so this is a design up on Thingiverse by Nadarata on Thingiverse. You can see all the different pieces here. Oh, here's some photos. These look fantastic.
Yeah.
It sticks to other things?
There's other mounts that you can have, so you can stick it to the top or bottom of your desk.
Okay.
So a nice little desk toy.
Oh, there's the balls, for the weight.
Completely forgot we had these.
It's just clever. I like that. It's kind of clever fidget spinner.
That's what caught my eye about it.
There's
a little video there too.
Okay.
I think that's the other thing that caught my eye.
I'll forgo playing it just to kind of save us some bandwidth. But yeah, the 608 ball bearing, 6mm iron balls. Good stuff.
Very cool. This is obviously for the kids. When this is done here, I'll hand that over.
I'm a kid. Kid at heart. It's for me.
break that into pieces. But yeah, just wanted to show. Probably not be easy to take it apart. The tolerances on it is kind of.
I have my spudger tool in the other room.
I got it. I got nails. There you go. So a nice little two-piece design for the little holder here, and then I'm not gonna be able to get the bearing out of there, but yeah, nice little assembly. I'm again always surprised when tolerances work and everything fits together. So kudos for that. It just snaps in like that, so you can have different colors. And again, that's the other thing that impressed me too. It's always fun when you can do that. And break it up and have all your different colors for the detail. And then obviously this little guy here for creating the light is super cool. So that completes the look there with the tractor beam.
Smallest LED we can get.
And that's this week's Community Makes. Super cool.
Timelapse Tuesday. We have some more Community Makes. There's just a couple here that were sent to us. So let's walk through those. First up, we have a remix of the Adafruit PyGamer case with soft buttons and port openings. So this was posted up by Juan on Juan. Juan posted this up. It has a nice opening here for the back of the PyPortal. Do you get yourself a PyPortal? Or I'm sorry, a PyGamer. There's a lot of Pi going on here. But got some buttons here too as well to go with the case, snap fit case, and some little modifications to it. Make it a little bit better, I think. Cool. A little bit of a summary here.
Yeah, I like the raised buttons.
Yeah. Cool. No supports as well for those buttons. Sweet. Okay, next up, we have a remix of the Dark Saber. The Dark Saber build is a super fun build. It uses the prop maker Featherwing. And this one here was posted up by Putty, or Potty. Posted this up. It's their remix of the blade cover to have some of these sort of sparkle or crackly bits. That's more aligned with the Darksaber from the Clone Wars.
It's like the electricity thunderbolts that come out of Palpatine's hands.
Yeah, let's go. And then printed like this purple. That's pretty cool. In the summary, it says you can print 2-color printer and glue. Oh, okay, so it's a multi-color print. And
nice.
It's on both sides of the blade. Cool. So it's built into the blade. There it is. Very neat. Okay, and then the last one here, I think it's a make of the Raspberry Pi HQ camera case. Let's see if I can get a photo here.
Come on, Thingiverse.
It's the black image. I know there's an image. I see it right there.
Got lost in the
Sorry,
server.
Folks, I can't. Oh, there it is.
Just a little bit of.
It's weird.
Well,
but
I'm happy I did order the backup internet just in case.
It's not the internet.
Well, because it's like the camera's going, and then like I'm doing the preview to make sure the feed is going, so that will definitely help.
Mophead posted this up on Thingiverse. They're using it for their Octoprint rig. Really nice.
Perfect use.
Oh god, it's doing everything. It's got the it's like connected to the printer plus it's connected to gigabit Ethernet. Very nice. Good colors. Yeah. It says there's a note here. This did not fit the older Raspberry Pi 3 because the NIC was on the opposite side of the screen. The Pi 4 board fits like a dream. Yeah, it's designed for the Pi 4. It would be cool to have a hole or spacing for attachment for heatsink. That's all very nice design. 10 out of 10. Sweet.
We'll get back into that one. We have a nice ample stock of the Pis.
Yeah. Hard to get these
There's
things.
a bunch of projects we want to do. We can't.
All right, and that is this week's Community Makes.
Yay! Thank you to all the makers. Quick commentary here. Andy Calloway saying with the UFO spinner, you could put those wireless LEDs in each one of those diffusers. I definitely want to do that. They won't. It looks like they might fit. Yeah, if I scale it up. The problem is I only have 2 of them, so I would only have one on each side here.
You only have 2 what? Wireless LEDs?
I have the wireless LEDs, yeah.
Yeah, because we've embedded them into a couple other projects. The Infinity Gauntlet is probably the main one, right? What else did we do with those wireless LEDs? Infinity Gauntlet?
Infinity Gauntlet. I think we did it on that castle, too.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
look how good that would look.
Yeah, it looked great.
Huh.
And you would just, put
Turn
it
it
down on something hidden, like a hidden coil. Lots of fun ideas.
Yeah.
With wireless
Hopefully
LEDs.
these get in stock soon. These are so cool. Hopefully in different colors too.
Yeah, I want the lumen noodle. That's what
Oh,
I'm
I
looking
cannot
forward
wait for that.
to.
Yeah,
Forward
just scale it
to
up
the
a
lumen
tiny
noodles.
bit. Look at that.
We've made your
That
prototype.
looks so cool. Just a tiny bit.
That's the name of the game, folks. Put an LED inside of something 3D printed, and bam,
All right.
it's amazing.
Bam. So cool. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and wrap up the show.
Yes, we're having too much fun with our toys. All right, tonight's show and tell is going to be hosted, very special show and tell tonight. It's going to be hosted by JP, John Park. He's going to be
Yay.
hosting, and we'll be hosted next week.
All right.
I'll let you know when that happens. I just said next week. But don't go anywhere. Show and tell starts at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And then at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Ask an Engineer is a full hour with Lamar and Phil. Open source hardware, new products, Ion MPI, and more. All that tonight. You can also get a lovely 10% discount coupon code. So
Woo.
save up your cart. Get that PyPortal and get 10% off.
Head on over to adafruit.com/new to see all the cool new goodies coming in stock
I'm doing that
soon.
right now.
Oh, still last week.
Yeah.
Maybe
Might do
closer.
something with
Maybe
this.
around 5 o'clock, 5
It's a little
p.m.
pricey, though. All right, and then tomorrow, every Thursday, tune in to John Park's workshop at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, or 1 p.m. Pacific Time. See, they did the math there. 4 minus 3 is 1.
We should probably add it into the.
4 minus 3 is 1. And then tomorrow is a deep dive with Tim, Foamy Guy.
Yay!
Every Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific or 5 p.m. Eastern. And then wrapping around on Sundays from the desk of LADYADA on select weeks. This week we had a holiday, so
It was on Monday.
yeah, so we skipped that one. But she'll be back next week, I think.
No, she didn't skip it. She was there. It was just on Monday.
Oh. Yeah, you're right. Sorry. Yeah, we did. She did do a stream. What am I talking about? I don't know what I'm talking about. Tune in every Sunday, mostly on Sundays at random hacker hours.
Usually around
Mostly
from
in the
8
evenings.
to 11.
Pedro knows how. But I do know that this week's CircuitPython chat happened on Tuesday, but typically happens on a Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Tune into that on any of the podcasting services, YouTube, archive, playlist, or you can tune in live on the Mondays at 2 p.m. Eastern in the Discord chat rooms. Okay, and then Tuesdays is JP's product pick of the week. This week was a touch screen driver, I believe. You can get up to 50% off select products, and that's every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern or 1 p.m. Pacific. And to get the discounts, you gotta do it live during the show. It's kind of a fun thing. We've been doing it for I think over 100 of these, right? Have we reached over 100? Yeah, it's a lot. JP has moved on to the drawers to dedicated jewelry boxes. It's kind of fun to see the evolution of I ran out of drawers. Now I got these jewelry boxes. But all fun stuff every week on Tuesdays, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And then on Wednesdays we still do this show, longest 3D printing live stream that we have done. Every Wednesday at what time? 11 a.m. Eastern Time.
Woohoo!
Yeah, and next week we'll host. Last week was the host. Liz Clark did the host.
Excellent.
Really excellent job. Shout out to everybody for coming in last week. Hope to see you tonight on Show and Tell. You just go into the Discord chat room and we'll throw the link there a few minutes before the show so anybody can tune in. We have, I think, about 10 slots available so folks can come in.
Come on and hang out. Show off your awesome project you're working on.
Comments here from Yanni Skoo. Desktop CNC fixturing palette might be good for that Lego Flex. Yeah.
Then shout outs to Let's
For
Make
sure.
Electronics. Hello.
Howdy there.
All right, it's going to be it for this episode. You can
Yep.
watch the replays. We got a whole playlist. If you want to check out the layer by layers, we just came out with one.
Yep. We'll do
And
more as we can.
post
And-
throughout the week on all of the Adafruit socials, so make sure to follow on the TikToks, Instagrams, Facebooks, Twitters, and of course YouTube.
Yep.
All of them are at Adafruit.
Don't forget, you got a coupon code tonight if you want to put your orders in. Maybe hang on to them until later tonight.
And that's
Yeah.
it.
Yep. Thank you, folks. We'll see you tonight. But until next time, remember to
Make a great day.
have a great day, folks.
See you
Bye,
later tonight.
everybody. I'll pick up the pooch, but he's sleeping. We'll do it next week. Bye, everybody.